Welcome to Vegan Pastry Lessons. I'm Alessia, I'm a professional vegan pastry chef, and here you learn how to make amazing desserts without any animal ingredients. So if you love classical or modern pastry and want to bake cruelty-free, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Today we're going to make a vegan apple cake, incredibly soft and moist, so without eggs, butter, milk, and yet absolutely amazing. And the best part is that we won't be using any strange or hard to find ingredients to replace eggs, so no special powders or complicated substitute. I'm pretty sure you already have everything you need right in your kitchen. These cakes turn out extra soft and tender thanks to the apple cubes that will fall directly into the butter. So as they bake, they release moisture and make the cake extra soft and moist. It's a super simple cake, perfect for breakfast, a snack, or every time you want something homemade, cozy and delicious. Okay, let's start. First, I wash and peel the apples. You can use 4 medium small apples or 3 big ones. Then I cut each apple in half and each half in half again. So from every apple I get 4 quarters. I remove the core from each piece and now I'm going to divide them in 2 groups. 2 apples are going to be cut into small cubes. They don't have to be perfectly precise, just try to keep them fairly even. This will go inside the butter and make the cake incredibly moist and soft. I place them in a bowl and set them aside. The other 2 apples are for the top. For this, I take each quarter and slice it into about 4 thin slices. Try to keep them similar in thickness so they bake evenly and look nice when we decorate the cake. Apples are ready, now let's move on to the butter. In a large bowl, I add the plain plant-based yogurt, the vegetable oil and the plant milk. I'm using soy milk, but oat milk works perfectly too. Then with a whisk, I mix everything together for a couple of minutes. This step is important because we want to create a nice emulsion. The mixture should look smooth and slightly creamy. Next, I add the sugar and the salt. You can use cane sugar, granulated sugar, brown sugar, or even coconut sugar. Just keep in mind that brown sugar and coconut sugar will give the cake a darker color and a slightly more moist texture, with a subtle caramel aftertaste that works beautifully with apples, so each sugar is fine. I'm using cane sugar. I also add ground cinnamon. Cinnamon and apples are just meant to be together, but if you don't like it, you can just omit it or add another flavoring like lemon zest or vanilla. I whisk again just to combine. Now I sift in the flour and the baking powder. I whisk everything until the butter is smooth and lump-free. Try not to overmix, just mix until everything is incorporated. Otherwise, if you mix too long, the cake will be more dense and less soft. Once the butter is ready, I add the apple cubes and fold them gently using a spatula. This way they are evenly distributed without overworking the butter. Now let's prepare the pan. I'm using a springform pan about 24 cm in diameter. I lightly spray with vegetable oil, but you can also brush it with oil or margarine. Then I place a parchment paper on the bottom and add stripes around the sides as well. The oil helps the parchment stick nicely in place. I pour the butter into the pan and level it with a spatula. Now comes my favorite part, the decoration. I take all the apple slices and arrange them in a circular pattern on top of the butter. Slightly overlapping them creates that classic apple cake look. As the cake bakes, the apples will soften and sink just a little, giving the beautiful homemade finish. Into the oven it goes at 180 degrees Celsius, static mode for about 50-55 minutes. Always check with a toothpick. If it comes out clean, the cake is ready. But remember that every oven bakes differently, so in yours it could take more or less time. So always also check the color of the cake. It should have a nice golden color on top. Once baked, let it cool in the pan for at least 1 hour at room temperature. This step is really important because the cake is more delicate while it's still warm. When it's completely cool, remove it from the pan and dust the top with some icing sugar. Transfer it to a serving plate and that's it. A soft, fragrant vegan apple cake with a hint of cinnamon and beautifully baked apples on top. The cake is ready and now we can cut it. Serve it with a scoop of vanilla ice cream or a little custard or cream and glaze and it becomes absolutely stunning dessert. And now your cake is ready, simple, classic and completely plant-based. You can store it in the fridge for up to 3 days.